Hail, wind, rain, and strong storms moved across Kentuckiana last night, canceling high school football games, tearing down trees, and ripping down power lines, including in Crescent Hill on Cannons Lane, not far from Lexington Road. Sections of two large oak trees you see right there on your screen fell, blocking the road. Right now, nearly 8,900 are still without power in Jefferson County, according to LG&E. That's an improvement from late last night, when at one point nearly 26,000 people were without power. Crews are still out picking up the pieces at this hour in the Bonnie Castle neighborhood. Neighbors are still without power because of a downed tree. That's where we find WHAS11's Alexis Jones with photojournalist Elijah McKenzie. Alexis, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Connor, so far we've seen plenty of storm damage throughout our area, including down power lines, like you said, and trees. As you can see, parts of Bardstown Road is blocked off because of this huge tree right beside me. Crews are right now working to remove it from in front of Sophia Coffee Shop. It's at least the length of 2 cars. Thankfully, no one was injured last night, but faithful customers say they're sad to see the tree go. It helped provide shade for people who waited outside of the shop for their coffee.
And the community is really going to feel the effects of that because the heat from the summer, all the impervious surface of the concrete, the trees provide a lot of value, not just economic for property, but also societal. And so patrons will really feel the effects as they wait on the outside of Sophia, which is a great local cafe if you've not yet visited. But without the tree, patrons waiting will be a lot warmer than they were before.
And coming up at 11 tonight, you will hear more from residents affected by last night's storm. Live in Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
Alexis, thank you. Over in the Highview neighborhood, an update tonight on the officer injured in the storms. LMPD says the officer was released from the hospital earlier this morning. The officer was stationed on Applegate Lane, guarding the condemned houses when a tree fell on her car. She was treated at the hospital for minor injuries. We want to know what things look like where you live. If you have any storm damage, please send us a photo or video. You can text it to 502-582-7290. The EPA announced its recommendations for one of the homes filled with chemicals on Applegate Lane. 2 houses on the Applegate Lane property have been blocked off since LMPD found hazardous chemicals inside a home owned by Mark Heibel. Heibel was squatting in the home next door as well. The EPA said they found mercury in that home Heibel was squatting in. They've recommended the house be cleaned out.
So the goal is to take the concrete out and pour new concrete, and the exposure is minimal. And this is all being done as precaution. Mayor wants to make sure the safety of our neighborhood is the ultimate goal here. And even though there were many different ways to remediate this, ultimately the EPA has decided the best option is to break the concrete and pour new concrete.
Now, city leaders originally planned to burn down the home Heibel owns, saying it was impossible to clean. They brought in the EPA to give city leaders recommendations on whether to move forward with that controlled burn. Those results are expected sometime next week.
Please put 8155 in service, 8151 be out of service.
Zone 10 Fire Chief Kevin Moulton officially marking Zone 10's new fire truck in service today. The department dedicated its new ladder truck, which they say has been in the making for years. The new truck replaces an old one that's been in service since 1996. That truck will be retired but could be put back in service by another department in the future. Today's ceremony included a blessing from the chaplain, remarks from the chief Moulton, and spraying down the truck with water from the one it's replacing. And LMPD taking the first steps toward what it hopes is a brighter future, officially swearing in the first black woman to permanently serve as police chief. Chief Jackie Gwen Billerowell takes over the department during a crucial time in LMPD's history. The department faces a number of challenges ahead, from officer shortages and morale issues to a lack of community trust. With a consent decree looming, Billerowell says she's ready.
I want to thank each and every community members that truly said that we weren't doing it right, because guess what? We heard you, and now we're going to get it right. I appreciate you. I appreciate your voice for being so loud and so clear so that LMPD can now turn the corner to being great.
Attending the ceremony was a who's who of Louisville and Kentucky leaders. U.S. Congressman Morgan McGarvey was also in the crowd. And of course, Chief Bill Rowell's own family flew in from Atlanta for the event.